Welcome to On the Road with WHCA. I'm your host, Kevin Tocci. This show travels around the towns of Whitman and Hanson to find out what some of the restaurants and businesses are doing to inform you. Today we travel to Washington Street, Uncle David's, to find out what exactly they have cooking. We're going to head inside and chat with Uncle David, Richard, Monica, Charlie, Brad, and the whole crew. Find exactly what they have on the menu. Let's go inside and find out. Well, we're inside here of Uncle David's, and I'm joined right now by Uncle David himself, and I believe the patriarch. And what's Dad's? Do we just call him Dad, or does he have a name?
Sure.
Dad.
Richard is good.
Richard. Okay. Tell us a little bit about Uncle David's.
Well, we opened last August, and it was about a 3-month process to get into the building, get it all cleaned up, get it ready for us to open. And we did a ton of work throughout the summer, and I brought in all the right ingredients, all the right equipment, and we're making some fabulous foods here.
Tell me the influence that your dad had on you, as far as, I'm sure that you didn't wake up one day and go, I want to open a restaurant. I'm sure that there were things that you learned from him that you are carrying on in your own business. Is that true?
True. He had a store, and I grew up in it ever since I was probably 15, 16. It was a Middle Eastern grocery store. Started off with that, and then that grew into, we had a Middle Eastern bakery where we made nothing but pita bread and all the associated Arabic items with that.
Yep.
And that was about 10,000 square feet. And I did a lot of the running of that, all the equipment in there, and working with my father, working with my mother. My sisters worked there. It was absolutely a family business. And after that, I ended up going to Stacy's Pita Chips, where my father was selling bread to them for the pita bread to make up roll-ups. And it just turned into a very family atmosphere over there, and we did a great job over there.
Okay.
And then Frito Pepsi bought us and turned into this shortly after that.
Richard, tell us about some of the things, some of the life lessons that you've taught David that you get to watch him proudly put on display here at Uncle David's.
Well, that's a long story, but I'll make it real short for you.
Yeah, Cliff's Notes version, please.
Everything that is being done here, although it's a different food than what I did Middle Eastern food. Everything here is the way we did it. The top quality products, ingredients, and we talk to our customers, we engage them, and they see that we have a great product in a wonderful environment, nice clean environment, and you put that together with the ability to talk to your customer, to remember his name, and to remember the children that come with them. And what you do is you build relationships, and that's what sales is all about. That's what successful business is all about. And I did it in my store. He grew up in my store. My children, all the 3 girls, all grew up and were superstars in the store. And he was a superstar when it came to the work that he did. So it has passed on. So Daddy got a little older, and son is taken over.
Talk to me about his how he evolved from being somebody who did work in your store, carried over to, another business, to now he opens up his own and is somehow getting the community involved. Give me your thoughts on that.
Well, they grew up. All the kids grew up watching Daddy work hard and Mommy work hard together. Yep. In this business, and that's the only thing they knew. They knew that they had to work hard when they grew up. So what happened is when David got out on his own and took on a tremendous responsibility when he started working with Stacy's, he literally flourished, and he built a bakery, the largest bakery in the United States of America. And his instructions, his writing instructions were, build your father's bakery, but huge. And he followed those directions, and he made a fabulous business for Stacy's. And the caring that he grew up with, the understanding about the product and the quality, has all permeated right here to Uncle David's in Whitman.
Tell me what's so different about your particular establishment to any that may be here in Whitman or in Hanson. What do you feel sets you apart as a business owner and as somebody who, serves products on a daily basis?
We use all fresh products. We do a premium beef, never been frozen. We patty it here. All my beef for all my hamburgers it's never been frozen, has no animal byproducts are fed to the cows. The antibiotics, there's none injected, no added hormones to them, and that taste of not having that stuff in there really comes out in the beef.
You guys had a chance recently, the guy who's sitting next to you, and I believe your sister Andrea, were part of the Taste of Whitman and Hanson. What was some of the feedback that you heard? And then I want to hear Richard's take on being there, because they had kind of a little bit of a meatball type of thing going on where they were trying to get people involved. Give me your thoughts about being a part of that.
It was right down the street here at the VFW.
Yep.
And my father and my sister were there at the event. I was working here. And even that night, people were coming back here saying, "We just met your sister, we just met your father." And they had a ball. They were going back and forth. I had two different types of products there. I had my Asian pork burger and I had my turkey kofta. Asian pork is absolutely delicious. I chop up crystallized ginger in it, and that just pops in your mouth, and it's so good. The turkey kofta is another great one. We use all fresh green and red peppers, dice that up with some onions, and then we add a Middle Eastern spice that dates back to 1907.
Okay.
And people coming back that night, literally an hour down the street, that come back here and they say, "We just met everybody and I need to have one of those burgers." It was so good.
I have to tell you, this is the gentleman who's working camera at this particular time, who does a tremendous job when it comes to producing our programs. Paul actually is, I think, a repeat offender coming here. He loves your turkey kofta. And we got to somehow get him to do a testimonial sometime down the road, because every time I turn around, he's coming here to get one of those.
Exactly.
Dad, I have to ask you, give me your thoughts of being a part of that event. It seemed like you and your daughter had a terrific time.
Well, first of all, if you have to work, you might as well have fun while you're doing it. And that's what I did for 26 years in the food business. And I excelled in the retail side of it. And I was put in a situation there where my very confident daughter was giving out the product, and I was out there leading everybody toward her. And I was introducing myself, who I was, and asking, if they had been down to see Uncle David's, and they'd eaten here. Now, the reason I asked that question is very, very simple, because I honestly feel with all my heart that if you eat here once, it's all over. You are a repeat customer, because everybody that comes in here, other than the first timers, they're repeat customers. They're repeat customers.
Yeah, like I said, Paul is one of those people who is
Perfect example.
Perfect example. He loves coming here and trying it out. I noticed that there isn't just like a standardized type of your menu, because it seems as though you take ideas from different people. You might even take product from different people, and you'll try them out and you'll display them. I think one might be an Italian sub. You might have a hamburger that has something to do with peanut butter and mayonnaise that we'll have something to do with later on, and even peanut butter pie. Tell us about that.
Exactly. To tell you about the peanut butter pie, it's a real great story. One of the girls that works here lives right down the street.
Yep.
Her mother had a recipe for years. And for Christmas, she made us a pie, and all of the employees here just chowed it down. It was so good. It wasn't too sweet, graham cracker crust on the bottom. It was wonderful. And I told her, I says, "We have to sell this. I need to get the recipe from your mother." She said, "David, my mother will not give out the recipe. Not to my grandmother, not to her sisters. She will not give out the recipe." I said, "Please ask her." Back and forth it went for a couple days, and I got it to the point where I'm like, "Okay, you make them with your mother at your house, so I know your mother trusts you. Come here and make them. They're made on the premises. Graham cracker ground up on the bottom of these individual pies. a light, airy deliciousness. Oh, you'll love them. You got to try
Is
it.
there a way that maybe we can get a little bit of a sneak peek of them making them later on, or is that against the rules?
That's a very top secret here.
No. All right.
That I can't.
I had to ask. It's part of the investigative reporter inside of me that I had to ask.
Yeah.
that.
I gave her my word,
Okay.
and I said, it doesn't leave here.
Okay, Richard, what are some of the things that are on the menu that I've only pointed out a couple of different things. What are some of the things on the menu that we may not find in another restaurant, whether it's a sub shop, a restaurant, an eatery?
The contractor that did all the stainless steel work here, he asked David if he ever heard of a Gooba burger. And the immediate response was, what is a Gooba burger?
Yeah.
And when they told him, they told us actually, we were both here, that the ingredients were the delicious hamburger that we have here, plus mayonnaise and peanut butter. Mayonnaise covering the inside of one side of the bun, and peanut butter covering the other side of the bun, the inside, and then this delicious hamburger in the middle. David basically dismissed it. And when that happened, he said, you know what? He's the contractor. He's going to be here. He's going to do a lot of work for me. He said, let me try it. So he tried it, and he learned soon that it was delicious. Now, you can't find a hamburger anywhere that's got peanut butter in it.
Is there anything else other than the Goober burger that you can give us for an example that's made here? It doesn't have to be a burger. Is there something other than that is unique that you can walk down the street to maybe another establishment and they'll say that they have this kind of sandwich, that kind of sandwich, yet if you came in here, you'll find a uniqueness in its naming and what it's made with?
Perfect. We have a gentleman here named Nick Murphy, and he made a sandwich one day, and everybody here ate it and loved it, and it immediately, I mean immediately, that day made it to the menu.
Okay.
It was delicious. It's grilled chicken with 2 cheeses that make a little bit of a sauce on it, blue cheese and American cheese. And on our roll, on a braided roll,
Okay.
it is the most delicious thing you've had ever.
What's the name?
Buff, there's a picture of it on the wall there,
Okay.
Buff Kick Murphy.
Really?
Yes.
How important is it to get your employees, get your family involved in the atmosphere here and kind of sharing what's going on as an establishment?
Extremely. From, like Dad was saying with the Buff Kick Murphy, these guys during lunchtime, they make some really awesome things.
Really?
They've got the food here to do it, and their just imagination
And you
goes
encourage them to
wild.
do this too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I have a girl that just started last week, and within 4 days, she's got something up on the menu. She made it, and we all went crazy over
What
it.
is it?
It is a cookie s'more pizza. It's our dough for the pizza, a little bit of cinnamon, special cinnamon sugar that we make, marshmallows, cookie dough, chocolate drizzle, and then we take graham crackers again, throw that on top, and butter the edge a little bit, and it just, it melts in your mouth, and then you take a little bit of frosting and do that on the top.
To be this daring in order to kind of do something like this, do you ever ask yourself if in fact one time, one day, that you might bite into something and go, oh my, and that it might not be as wonderful? Because it seems like everything that your employees and your family is creating is quite wonderful. Do you not fear that day where you're going, okay, maybe we went too far with the experiment?
I haven't found that yet.
Okay.
The second day we were open, we patty the burgers ourselves. I had a little bit extra, it was like a 2 or 3 ounce burger. I said I'll put it in the fridge for later. Later that afternoon, I took it out, put it on the burger, on the grill, and I'm looking around, I'm like, what am I gonna put on this? So I grabbed some cilantro, cooked that on the grill with it, took some red onions, took some hots. I put that on a sesame seed bun, and I was sitting in this very seat, and Dad was sitting right across from me.
Yeah.
And my teeth didn't even completely touch. And I said, Dad, you have to taste this. this is going to be my Whitman burger. So from that day to today,
Yeah.
I have my Whitman burger, and I have a born-on date on my Whitman burger.
No way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got to say that's one of the things that I have noticed is that one of the first things when I met you, when you were first starting to bring equipment in, one of the first things that you, I don't know if you had it up somewhere or if it was something that you had told me yourself, was that you were going to make things like a lot of places don't anymore. That it was going to be home cooked meals, that it was going to be creative. Do you feel that you have achieved that, or that you have been achieving that from the first day that you've welcomed customers into the door?
From the day we opened, and it's growing and growing even more.
Okay.
And we're definitely there, and it's just going to get even better.
Okay.
Because all my employees that help and participate with the new menu items, my customers that come in, hey, Dave, you got to try this. David, you got to try that. Put this with that. You've got a delicious burger. You know what? Put this on it. And I listen to them, and I try it. And some things, like the Goober burger, it's on the menu. Other things,
Not so much.
not so.
We got just a couple of minutes, and then you and I are going to find our way to one of your favorite places in front of
the grill.
In front of the grill, and we're going to make up. What do we besides the Goober burger? What else are we going to do?
We are going to do a David Dia. That was on the menu as of November, and it's basically a 56 square inch half moon, basically a steak and cheese with vegetables, a little bit of pepperoni, and we do it on the grill, fold it in half,
Yeah.
and it's all grilled up on both sides, and it is just wonderful.
Okay.
It's a great sandwich.
Anything you want to say in closing, Richard, before we head over to the grill? He wants to hold on to that microphone. You can already tell he's got a speech. He's got.
No, the only thing I want to say is that when I was working in my store, it was all passion. And the customers saw that passion, and they reacted positively
Right.
to it. And my son is achieving the same thing here in Whitman. And that is an awesome thing, because he's a very likable guy, just
Yes.
like his father.
Well, now, before you give the microphone back, if there's anything that you can say in closing to him or to folks who are watching this right now, what would you say to them, looking into that camera?
What would I say to David?
Well, what would you want to say it to David, or you want to say it to the folks in Whitman and Hanson? What would you say to them? And point that right under your nose.
Right under my nose.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Try Uncle David's once, and you will see, feel, and taste the passion in everything that's done in this little store. You will be very happy, I promise you.
David, do you want to say anything you want to kind of say before we kind of go and see a couple of your creations? Anything you want to say to the folks as far as what they'll experience when they come here that'll make them a repeat customer?
First, I want to say thank you, because the town of Whitman has been wonderful. The customers coming in my door really have a ball with me here. They're learning my name. I'm walking down the street, and they're screaming out of their cars, "Hey, Uncle David." It's really a friendly family atmosphere, and the town is, and I want to say thank you, because I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're going to go out back to the kitchen area and get in front of the grill and see David in action right here on the road with WHCA. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and we are in front of the grill with Uncle David. What are you going to start cooking first?
Today, I'm going to make a David Dia.
A David Dia. Now, what exactly is a David Dia?
David Dia is my version of a quesadilla, but so much better.
Clever. It's all in marketing, isn't it?
It's what you do, what it looks like, and how it tastes, and it will speak for itself.
All right. Well, besides speaking for itself, I'll let you do what you do best and kind of talk us through it, if you will.
I am absolutely ready. We use a boar's head shaved steak, very lean and very tender. We get that going. We use a special Uncle David seasoning
Is that secret? You can't tell us what's in
That I
there?
can't tell you all of it.
Okay.
There is some vegetable seasoning.
Okay.
It's got an awesome flavor profile, and it goes great. We use it on our burgers. We use it on our sandwiches. We sprinkle it on a lot of things, even on the fries sometimes when customers request it.
It's almost as though you're talking to the Food Channel right about now.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Okay, all right.
So we get that going,
Okay.
shave that down,
Okay.
and then we use all fresh vegetables.
Okay.
Fresh mushrooms, fresh yellow onions, and we use Christmas peppers, we call them. They look so much better, fresh red and green.
Okay.
They're awesome. We get those going.
So while this is cooking, kind of give me an idea. We sat and we talked about, burgers. We talked about the peanut butter pie.
Yep.
But I know there's much more in pizzas and other sandwiches. So give us a kind of an idea of some of the other sandwiches that you have and the pizzas that you feature.
On the pizzas, we make our own dough. Coming out of the bread business, coming out of the Syrian bread business, and working for Stacy's all the years. If I don't make a good dough, something's wrong.
Give us a little bit of an idea of some of the pizzas that you have. I know, again, we talked about pizzas, but what are some of the unique pizzas that you have?
My best-selling one is my Aloha.
Okay.
It is boar's head ham, boar's head bacon. It's got pineapple. It's got a little sprinkling of coconut,
Ooh.
which is very different from
any other
everybody
ones,
everybody
right,
else.
yeah.
Exactly. I was at my parents' one day, and my mother said, "Coconut. Coconut is tropical, still in that same Hawaiian type of tropical region."
Sure.
So the next day, sprinkled a little bit of coconut, tried it, and it was a hit from day one.
Goodness.
It was so wonderful.
What did Richard say?
His jaw dropped and absolutely loved it.
Okay.
And he said that has to go on the menu just like that.
Okay. And what Dad says goes.
Dad says goes.
No, I have to say, actually had a chance recently to try Jen's Italian sub, and there's something more to it, if I'm correct. It's not so much all the ingredients you get on it, but isn't there like a special relish that you put on it?
That's what I was getting to exactly.
Okay.
My mother makes an Italian relish, and it's got fresh peppers, fresh tomatoes,
Yep.
fresh onions, with an oregano sauce on it, and it is wonderful. And it goes great with the sandwiches. It goes wonderful with hot dogs, on top of dogs. You want to put it on a burger. We actually make a sausage burger.
If I could concur, it is wonderful. I thought, I was asking myself, when he said relish, the first thing I thought of was, the green relish that you see in stores, but it's much, much more.
Nothing like it.
Right.
It's all fresh. It dances in your mouth.
It literally does.
It does.
Yeah.
So this is going here. I'm going to put a little bit of heat on my wrap shell.
Now, what does that do by putting the wrap on there?
It
and
makes it
heating
a little
up?
bit more flexible.
Okay.
Allows it to be folded up like we're going to do in just a few.
Is it a low heat type of thing that you're cooking this on? Is that the norm?
It's cooking down, and we don't want to rush it because the meat we
Slow
want
cook?
to leave it very
Okay.
fresh and very juicy. I don't want to cook it to death. And this is just coming down. Same thing with the vegetables. I want you to taste the fresh vegetables and not just boil them down to nothing.
Okay.
So we're coming up here.
And again, you're watching On the Road with WHCA, and we are at Uncle David's, which is located right here on Washington Street. Stop on by. As you see, we're cooking up a David Dia.
Now we're going to take some of our...
There's even more?
Oh yeah. We are going to lay down a bed of cheese
Okay.
on the bottom of this on only half. What that's going to do is that's going to allow the meat, the vegetables, and everything to grab onto that.
Okay.
And that will just melt just another little bit.
Okay.
This will come down. And we are almost there.
Okay. Now, what are you layering on now?
Now I'm laying on a layer of pepperoni,
Okay.
and that is going to be where I'm going to throw my meat and veggie mix.
Okay.
That comes down there.
Very, very unique.
It's very time consuming, but the flavor is so worth it.
How popular are you finding sandwiches like this?
You can't go anywhere else and find them.
Okay.
And my
But,
customers
do
are
you-
coming in,
Yeah.
and they want it. They're coming back for it,
Okay.
time after time. It is an incredible sandwich.
Okay.
Now that goes all on there.
Yep. It's as easy as trying to fold
Just-
it over right afterwards.
Just fold it right over.
Okay.
But first, you have to add,
There's more.
yep. This comes down. That comes over.
Okay.
Now you finish it
Ah, a
with
little
a
bit
little
more.
bit more of my cheese.
Okay. This is kind of like a binder, so to speak.
This is going to hold the top half
Okay.
onto the bottom half,
Okay.
and that comes in there. Little press down there. And I take that.
Now I know we're sitting here and we're talking it through, and it's taking a couple of minutes. What does it take for a customer comes in and wants one of these? What would you say it would take? How long to make one of these?
5 to 7 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
And then we take that,
A little bit of a flip.
fold that over, get a little bit warm again. And you can see
As the
you've
cheese
got your
starts to-
colors.
Yep.
The cheese is melting.
Yep. Start to ooze out just a little bit.
We'll get another little crust on there.
Okay.
And we take this, we cut this in half, as you'll see in a minute.
Okay.
And my customers just pick it up. It's like a big smile. They're eating it like this, and they're holding the whole half of that, basically the quarter of that, and they got a smile in front of their smile.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to having a smile when I get a chance to sample this maybe a little bit later on.
We will, absolutely.
Okay.
That comes back on this side. Now I've got a little crust on that side,
Okay.
and that toasts that side up. And then we're going to take this,
Will we make the cut?
cut right down the middle, and we are going to serve this.
Goodness.
Right on top there. And there you have it. It's the David Dia. Enjoy.
Welcome back. This is the final product here at Uncle David's. As you see, we did the David Dia, and we also did the Uncle David's Goober Burger. Come on down. They're located at on Washington Street in downtown Whitman. You won't be disappointed, I promise you. Come on down and check them out.